can't keep doing this.
You can't text them to sabotage us. You're here too.
It's your stream too, Raph.
Huh? What? Just say something.
Think of Rhiannon.
I'm not listen, okay.
Put that
And
phone down.
here's the honest and here's the truth. I'm not texting anyone, okay?
Okay.
I don't believe you.
Can Carmen cross themselves though?
Oh, I'm not texting anyone.
I know.
You
I believe you.
Pounds, bestie. What say you?
So
Carmen?
normal.
Yeah, what say you? What say you, Raph?
Fine.
These allegations.
What's AI? What do you mean? Oh wait, first of all, I need to adjust my webcam. Hello? Oh wait, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing and I'm delayed. Hold on, gang.
Like, it's not a stream unless the tech gremlins do something.
It's
so
true.
this is very
So
on
true.
brand.
So true. I need to get dice out. We've used dice in this one, right?
I told Raph we would never use dice tonight, so like, don't worry about it. You're probably
I don't
not going to have to
like
roll.
that at all.
Listen.
And I'm going to roll my dice.
I
I
don't
know the
trust
few
you.
things that I know. I don't like what that means.
Nah, I hate that. I
You
have my
can't
Rhiannon
stop my
dice,
bad
which
stuff.
so we'll see if my Rhiannon dice is nice, but I also have the ones that have been treating me nice. So if
None of my
it's-
D6s treat me nice ever. So
No. Oh, it was a moon week. I forgot to put the fucking dice in the moon. Damn it.
no.
The brain broke again. Okay. It's fine. It's
I'll
gonna
have
be
to set
great.
up like a ping in the group chat for like it's Moon Night, put your dice out.
Are
We
your dice
literally
out?
did that with class reunion.
That's
We
a
all
great
Skyped
idea.
on that.
Skype.
It wasn't Skype. We were just on Discord.
I still use Skype to talk to my family.
More flashbacks.
I never stopped. I still got that app.
Also, hold on. I think I'm on a delay, so I'm just gonna restart real quick.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
valid.
bye.
100% on a delay. Okay, hold on.
I can't believe the Raph just ditched us.
It's trying to
Then it
escape the
was just the
consequence.
girlies.
You can't escape the Rammies. It's fine. We know this. They'll be back. It's Rammy time.
Oops, all girlies finale.
Suckers.
All girlies. How's that treating you, Raph?
Hello?
Good.
Excellent.
Yay. Is it boy?
Wait, was that good?
I
Were
heard
you?
you.
Are you still delayed?
I feel like I'm a little bit, but not too bad.
It's okay.
Just a
Carmen's just
couple
having some
seconds.
processing issues today. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, we're fresh out of a failed,
Hello.
well, not even attempted exorcism.
A what?
Right?
You
What?
guys did a what?
We,
Huh?
well, we didn't. That's the problem.
Oh wow!
We didn't. Spoilers. That's the problem.
It's fine. Don't worry about
Everything's fine.
it. Yeah.
Everything's
We're having a
good.
normal one, guys.
No, I'm ready. Let's bring the.
Thank you, my
I
friend.
say I'm ready, and then JD's gonna do something. I'm gonna like fight him. So
I have never done anything wrong ever in my
That's
life.
absolutely right. That's
you
correct, that's
tricked
correct,
me
that's correct.
into causing Ragnarok before we were even dating. So
I like the before we were even dating, like it
Yep.
would have been better or okay if
No,
I'd done it after.
that was also some
Deal
shade on me
breaker.
because you did that to me, and then I still dated you later. So
Yeah, Ragnarok, not a deal breaker, actually.
not a deal
Actually
breaker. Game recognizes game, but you did that to me.
I did. It's true. And now I think it is time
That's how we ended the game.
to
Oops.
dive into some horrible things tonight,
Well, there's no
which I'm
apocalypse,
sure
it's
won't be horrible. I'm sure
just normal
everything will be
everything.
fine.
fine.
How many times can I say fine before we even start?
Like
A
at least
lot.
2 more, I think.
I'll make
Then
sure.
it'll be believable.
It always is. I mean, because why would I lie?
Why would you lie, truly?
Why would I lie? All right, so I'm going to dive in. If I can actually remember words, which is debatable after the week that I've had. Hi, I am JD, and we are live from the apocalypse, and this is a second season of Secrets and Shadows. Over here at Live from the Apocalypse, we are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for aid organizations and good causes, and we are currently fundraising for Rainbow Railroad, the Canadian branch specifically. I'd like to throw that in because you might notice that the amount you put in looks different because the conversion rate changes it, but it currently works in our favor, and we love that for us and for them. So, with that, at any point during the stream, you can either go where the subscribe button would usually be and click donate, or you can inversely type, as I absolutely fail at typing, it's fine. OBS has decided it hates me, so I'm just going to do it on my personal account. You can type donate, and usually a link will show up, but apparently technology is not cooperating with me today. There it is. You can get that on mobile. So at any point during the stream, you can take what you would have thrown at us, whether that's in subscriptions, bits, anything like that, any of that fake money, and instead give it to Rainbow Railroad, and they will use that to help queer people, and especially in these scary times, trans people get from unsafe locations to safer ones. With that, at that point, the McElroy brothers will yell, specifically at me. The cast may yell if they catch this as well, and it'll be a moment where I will at least be distracted because I will be focused on that, and whatever emotional or pivotal moment was about to happen, I will have to reorient myself around. You can find the subscribe button. We encourage you not to. We have hidden it for your own sake, and that is because if you choose to subscribe, maybe you throw an Amazon Prime sub our way. Beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill one dog for every month that you have been subscribed. We would rather that not happen. It is your choice. If you can sleep at night, do it. If you cannot, maybe decide to give that money to Rainbow Railroad instead. But I think that is all of the housekeeping. I will just remind you, we have a few new ways of using points. Some of that are with reactions, and we have some incredible reactions that you can use. But you can also influence the game. You can make good stuff happen, and you can make bad stuff happen. And I'm just going to say, I think you could be very kind and instead spam the good stuff button today. Unless you're a monster. And I feel like Raph was just about to hit bad stuff.
I already did.
Raph, put it down. Drop it. Drop
What?
it. Raph.
Huh?
Drop the bad stuff button.
Carmen, no!
Raph, no.
Starting already, huh?
Listen.
It's
gonna be a night, y'all.
normal. Yeah, I know.
We're having a regular one, okay?
Raph is going to be like, I got into the LFTA account that has unlimited access to these things, and I'm just putting bad stuff, bad stuff.
I would never.
Don't tell him it does that.
I'm so glad Will is elsewhere so he didn't hear that and start doing that.
I feel
Raph,
like
drop
Raph...
it. Raph, drop it.
Raph,
It's about
no.
to summon Will.
Raph,
Yeah.
no. Raph, stop.
Raph down.
And so,
Really?
with that, Wow. Back to back to back to
Y'all
back.
timed this, didn't you? Y'all coordinated this, didn't you? The three? It's not like my baby's been taking L's all season, but that's fine.
I mean, at this point, how many more L's can we possibly take? Thank
Apparently,
you.
at least 3 more.
But Abby says that she loves you, so don't worry about it.
I'm sure having an actual literal devil say love you is totally good and not foreboding.
Yeah. Devils care about their friends. Demons are bitches.
Incorrect.
Noted.
Actually.
Actually.
I have anecdotal evidence, actually.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I think, though, with that, it is time to let each of you introduce yourselves and your character for this finale, and your character's current playbook. And we are going to start with you, Steph.
Yay! Hi, I'm Steph. I am playing Rhiannon Serena Carewood, formerly Lady, now Duchess. She uses the Witch playbook. I've been taking a lot of L's this season. We're going to see how many more we're going to squeeze into this finale with her boyfriend and her new friend on their way out of hell.
I'm sure it's going to be a normal one. And I didn't say fine that time. I didn't say fine. All right, Kit, you are up next.
Oh, geez. Hi, I'm Kit. Find me most places on the internet at Kit Roll. It's somewhere around me. It's gonna be a time, guys. It's gonna be great and normal. And Miss Elise Clarendon is gonna have a regular one and a normal one, and it's gonna be fine. And she is currently a vampire.
I appreciate that you stressed that.
I
appreciate
have to match
that.
the energy you brought to the studio. Don't worry about it.
We had a lot of playbook changes at the end of last season, and I think speaking of that, Raph, you are up next with your actions in that final episode being what caused one of those changes.
What do you mean? Listen. Okay, hi, I'm Raph. I will be playing Carmen Deloso today. Currently and only the I blanked. The Infernal? Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
The Infernal.
Yes.
How many times have you changed playbooks?
It's only gonna make conflict.
Yeah, okay. So the Infernal currently right now. What else about me? Everything's cool. Honestly, last session was a win for Carmen.
Just Kid in the background going, what? And just Steph glaring.
Everything's good. That win is a win.
Hey, bestie, sweetie, honey. You good?
Mm-hmm.
Grammys.
This is going to go so well. I have
just
no
keep
doubt.
delaying it.
If we keep delaying it, the bad stuff can't happen, right?
That's right, and we're up to times three right now. Good stuff times one.
Just give us one really bad stuff, and then the rest is good stuff, right?
2 good stuff to 4 bad stuff. That's not too bad.
What do you mean 4?
Huh?
Raph? What do you mean 4?
Hey!
Oh, you didn't scroll up? What?
Raph? What do you mean 4?
Just getting left in hell at this point.
Well, I'm going to be taking some notes.
Stop.
Good stuff times 2. Bad stuff times 4. We're good. And so.
Nope.
I almost did it. I was like, Will isn't here to force it.
You don't get away with that here.
Hi, I am JD. I am the storyteller for this game, and I will be playing everybody else. A lot has happened in a very short time in the city of London, but not just the city. Other realms have been visited, fallen into, People have found their way into fairy. Some have ensured that doorways were open into hell. And who knows what other places the denizens of the city may have found themselves in. But that is not for us to worry about, because that is not our story right now. Our story has taken a tour to hell with a noble mission to save Elisa's younger sister, Clara. And find your way through hell you did. With the assistance of a horse who is apparently not a horse, but is instead horse-shaped. With the assistance of Julius, the former seneschal and actual hellhound. And with your own wits and abilities, you made your way to an estate somewhere in hell. You're not quite sure what realm, though I'm sure were Abigail with you, perhaps she would be able to shed some light on that. And when you made your way inside, you knew this for what it was. A trap. The use of Elisa's sister, Clara, as bait. And Captain de Villiers bought Elise the time that they needed to make it up the stairs with Julius, while Captain de Villiers' sister, Horatia, leapt down from above in wolf form. And that gave Elise enough time to find a surprising ally in Isaac Connolly, who opened a door that went to the palace by Elisa's request that Clara was able to escape through. And Elise was left without their added allies, as Julius tackled Isaac through that doorway, which subsequently disappeared. Back on the ground floor, where Captain de Villiers was preparing to face his sister Horatia, Rhiannon Carewood remained there with him, ready to offer whatever assistance she could. Except that something happened. She found herself yanked back, yanked through. After a disconcerting image, to say the least, of what potential outcome could await her friend Fitz. And Rhiannon, of course, was pulled immediately into a situation involving Carmen Deloso that we will be talking about the ramifications of in not too long. But before we do, We are going to return to that obsidian estate. The light in the walls continuing to pulse different colors. As Elise moves from the room that until recently contained her younger sister Clara and moves towards the sounds of fighting coming from below. Elise, before you reach the top of the stairs, what are you doing and what is going through your head?
I think it's one of those things where everything is happening so much. I don't think there is a single coherent, solid thought. She gave Clara a weapon and told her to go, and everyone that was up there with her is gone. And she knows what she has to do, and she's done it once before. So we'll have time to freak out about it later. When it sinks in. Right? Once it's all done. So I think, she's not trained in fighting any more than you're trained by having older brothers. But to the best of her abilities, pause at the top of the stairs, try to figure out where people are coming from, try to get a peek over the railing, see if she can see what's going on. But the only weapon she has left on her is herself. She's, beyond trying not to use it.
And I will say that Fitz and Joe have taught you as well as they can in the limited time that you have had to train with them. And that does allow you to be looking around to see what and who are the threats. Is this a situation where Horatia has already called for backup? Is this a situation where there is an army at the ready? Who knows what happens in a state like this in the depths of hell? You don't see anyone. Not beyond what you've been hearing from the ground floor below you. And what you have been hearing are crashes and snarling. And you can smell the blood. And I am going to ask you to roll keep your cool, but not quite yet. Because as you lean over, you see Fitz and Horatia locked in battle. And you can't tell who is winning. You can't tell if anyone is winning. You simply know that they are fighting and that there's no question, and there never would have been in your mind, is going to be a battle to the death. But all of that glitching, all of the sudden sensation that reality was shifting, that Rhiannon felt just perhaps moments before, it's hard to know what time looks like here. That's still present. And you see the world beneath and around Horatia and Fitz start to flicker, start to change. And then the two of them are gone.
I think as sort of this flickering and stuff was sort of coming to a head again, like Elise is already like on the banister, ready to like waiting for a moment to jump down onto Horatia. Like Fitz has said, like he doesn't really care who gets the kill on this one, so I'm not above helping and making this an uneven fight. I don't care at this point. And I mean, you tell me I don't think she makes it in time. That's, but she's definitely like ready to jump into this fight, and then suddenly there is no more fight to jump into.
And I would agree that is exactly what happens. You see that something is happening. You know you have to act right now. And you don't know how because you are a vampire and you are fast. And yet it is somehow still too late because as you land on the floor, there is just floor. Horatia is not there. So you do land in a pool of blood.
I think there's just sort of silent disbelief for a second, like almost waiting for them to come back. Just sort of, just on her hands in this pool of blood. And I mean, we're well past caring about how this dress fares, I think, after the day that has been this season. So she doesn't care. She's like, if anything, like she's seen the circles that Rhiannon's made. She's seen like some of the weird stuff that's happened in mirrors. So I think she's sort of like brushing her hand through this pool of blood, like trying to find where they went. She doesn't know. She doesn't know how any of this works. And then it keeps getting frantic. And I think at some point, despite how much blood is around her, I don't care whose it is. I don't think she can tell whose it is at this point. She's going to try to see if she can figure out senses wise where they went, if they're still somewhere here. Can she still smell him, or is it just blood?
And I'm going to say in these circumstances that I think this is a gaze into the abyss roll.
That makes sense. I feel like this counts marked for the hunt, yes? For sure. I'm going to need it because I'm bad at dark. Well, it's a 6 and a 2 plus 3, that's 11. For once in my life, I can roll okay.
That is an incredible roll for Gaze into the Abyss, especially for Elise, because I know that has not always been their best.
It's not, unless it's about Fitz.
And with that, Elise, you are pulling on all of your heightened senses. You are feeling that connection that you established with Fitz months and months and months ago that has been, well, reestablished again and again and again. And that's the moment that makes this so frightening. Because you realize in that moment that even though you have felt him And you didn't even realize it. Like, it became a background blur where you would just realize, oh, he's at the estate. He's this far away from me. He's coming to me, at this point. I'm approaching the townhouse. We're meeting at the polo fields. You would notice all of that, but it was almost in the periphery because it was so automatic. And you reach out to him now and you feel nothing. And as you push yourself further, you see blood and fur. You hear snarls for a moment. And then it's just void. And you don't know where Fitz is, but you know for certain that Fitz is not here.
Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. I don't know what any of that means. I think there's a long moment of still the sort of like, even after, pushing it and seeing a little bit more and then the nothing. I think there's a couple more attempts at pushing it, and it just gets more frustrated and frantic and frankly pissed off at this point, because he's grown to be such a part of her whole experience in London. He's grown to be a part of her heart, and now something has taken that. And she doesn't know enough about any of this for it to make any goddamn sense. But Rhiannon might know. Rhiannon knows this stuff. And so I think Elise is now turning and searching for Rhiannon. Because she was here. She was supposed to be here. She should still be here. Right?
And with your permission, Kit, I am going to add in one piece, and you can, as always, let me know if this feels like it fits. But I think there is a moment as that frustration is building for Elise, as she is desperate to find those answers, that I don't even think they notice. But there is a moment when you draw one of the symbols that you've seen, whether that was something that you saw Rhiannon draw, whether it was one of the ones you saw around Clara or that Isaac drew. And you're so frantic that you don't notice it, but your hand automatically does that. And you feel almost like static going through your fingers. But then you're looking for Rhiannon, and they are not where you left them. Rhiannon Carewood is nowhere in sight. And you realize, because you are a vampire, you process information quickly. Fitz was left alone.
Of course. Of course, they couldn't play nice for 2 seconds. Fuck it, where's Douglas? Getting out of here. Fitz isn't here. Rhiannon clearly isn't here. I'm not going to get any progress done here. I can be pissed about it later. I can cry about it later. But my sister is in London, and nobody I care about is here. So I'm leaving. And I think it would make sense that sort of stalking out of this estate in a blood-soaked dress once again, I think it becomes clear looking at her what she is. Because I feel like this is a pretty good excuse to trigger Darkest Self. Don't you feel so?
I
Do you
100%
agree?
think that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember I said I would ask you to roll to keep your cool? If we're going Darkest Self, there's no need to keep your cool.
Oh, I'm so cool, JD. I'm cool as shit. Don't worry about it. And just like, where's Douglas? Like,
what does it look like when Elise goes into Darkest Self?
I think there are times when it has happened where it has been very rabid animal. I think at this point she has been keeping it together by a single thread for so long that instead of snapping, that thread is just pulled so tightly. And honestly, Abby would be proud. It is just the steadiest walk out of this door, and like I think the fangs are a little bit visible, the eyes are a little bit more bloodshot than they are wont to typically be. She looks human enough, probably, were she not drenched in blood. But I think it's more in the mannerisms, in the like normally very polite, normally very, country girl kind of vibe that she has is gone. She doesn't care. Douglas, we're going. Get me out of here.
And we're going to come back to you and Douglas in a moment, but before we do, we have two others who are on the road to hell. How do we find Rhiannon and Carmen after what just happened?
Rhiannon she is trying to focus on get back to Fitz and Elise, get back to them. Don't ruin this too. You promised you would stay. You promised everyone's getting out. You also promised that you would save your boyfriend, but that didn't happen because you were too scared and you were too in your own head and you weren't ready and you weren't strong enough. But we're not going to keep doing that. We're going to do something about it. So she is just absolutely still the mess she was when they left the palace basement where the exorcism was about to happen. They're still gripping Carmen's hand. They still have their hand on the bag of supplies they were given by Julius from the palace, several holy based items that she can't remember right now because she is kind of tunnel visioned on get back in time. But she is not letting go of Carmen's hand.
That's okay, because Carmen is definitely not letting go of Rhiannon's hand and is probably gripping it just as tight. Carmen is not 100% aware of the situation here. So I think for the most part, I feel like there's for the most part, he's feeling, I think he's fighting the feeling of feeling content. There we go. What happened in the basement was the proof he needed and was longing for from Rhiannon. And now feels like they can confidently, both of them, walk into a situation, any situation, and as long as they're together and work as a team, then everything's going to be okay. Because they've been able to prove that time and time again. Yeah.
Rhiannon, do you say anything to Carmen while you are making your way down?
Not initially, because she is still going over the I messed up, I messed up, I messed up over and over in her head. And part of her wishes, the self destructive part of her is wishing Abigail had been crueler towards her. Because it's almost worse that Abigail was understanding. Not that she doesn't believe Abigail's words, but more she understands being told she's a failure or a disappointment better than you did your best. But as they are walking through whatever path or road it looks like in between the doors, she just kind of does glance over at Carmen because they're having the inkling of there's still a demon tagging along, and I'm walking him into hell. What am I doing? And just kind of, are you feeling the same? Do you feel any different here?
Did you ask that out loud?
Yes. Sorry.
Do I, JD? Do I feel different in hell?
Carmen, you feel so good. This has been the best day.
I was going to say
Stop
that. Yeah. I think Rhiannon gets like a tighter grip, like a squeeze from Carmen. And he just looks down, and he was smiling, but as soon as he sees his face, smile drops. And just says, Rhiannon, it's going to be all right. We're together, and that's all that matters.
All that matters is that we're safe and together.
Of course. If we're together, we'll be safe.
And you're going to okay. And you're going to tell me if you start feeling different here, okay?
I will. I feel better than I did in the basement, but I don't know if that's hell or if that's stepping away from the betrayal of people I thought were close to me.
They are close to you, Carmen.
Hmm.
We can talk about it more after we're out of here. I don't intend for us to stay long. We need to get the others and bring them back.
Right. Do you want me to find them?
No, we should be able to find them. We don't need to call on him to help. I don't know what that would look like down
Rhiannon,
here.
you said you trusted me.
Yes.
If we need help, then you have to trust me.
I do trust you. I don't trust him.
He's an extension of who I am now.
No, he's not. No, he is his own entity. He is not you, Carmen. Don't ever think that he is you.
He's not me. Not in the same way that Damien and I were saying. But I wouldn't be who I am without him. So
That is not true.
don't know that.
I do, because I fell in love with you before he was even in the picture. You didn't need him to impress me or catch my attention. You did that all on your own, Carmen. You're enough for me, as you are.
I wasn't myself then. And I'm as close as myself as I'm going to be now, so. I know it's hard to understand, but you said you would trust me, and that's all I ask. Please, Rhiannon.
I trust you.
Thank you.
Steph, I do need to ask a question.
Yeah.
Is Rhiannon telling the truth?
She is, because they keep saying they feel a bit like a broken record, because they keep trying to make Carmen understand. I trust you. I don't trust him, but it's not clicking. It's not clicking. Why is it clicking? But she can just feel like, I want to clarify, when I apologized to Carmen, I went out of darkest self. Is that correct? Because it takes an act of apologizing to someone you wronged. Okay, great. We'll see if that happens again. Right now. Okay, but no, she is feeling, she trusts him, but she is feeling frustrated and just also really disheartened that Carmen doesn't see their own value, that they feel like they need this other entity to be worth her. And Carmen is asking Rhiannon to trust them, but Rhiannon is starting to wonder, when do you trust what I'm telling you?
Rhiannon.
Yes.
There is a moment as you are telling Carmen that you trust them, that you see his face flicker, and his hair is blonde, his eyes are blue. It's almost like a mask has been superimposed. And a voice that is not Carmen's says, "Oh, but you don't trust me, do you?" And then it's gone.
Rhiannon grabs Carmen by the front of their shirt and probably would push them into a wall if there was one. It's a little nebulous right now. I don't know if there's a wall, but they just grab them by the front of
now
the
is
shirt.
not the time.
Carmen, did you notice that you changed just now? Did you feel someone else here just now?
We're in hell. There's a lot of souls here, but I didn't change.
Well, your face did. I saw his face on yours.
Whose face?
The demon. Your father Adams.
Father Adams.
Is that
Why
not
would
what
he?
you...
Yeah, of course.
Well, we're not staying long. I need to get you out of here as soon as possible. You really didn't feel anything.
Oh, Rhiannon, it might be hell. It might be hell playing tricks on us. I don't know. There's powers in this place that are not benevolent. And if someone was trying to create some sort of divide between us, don't you think here would be the perfect place? With Isaac, with Horatia, trying to distract us from saving our friends.
That's valid, yes.
Promise
They just
we can talk about this in more in depth if we need to, but now is not the time.
You're right. You're right. They just kind of lean in and give them a quick kiss. And it's like, let's go. Let's get our friends.
And you continue walking, and there is nothing else strange that happens, though. You're not quite sure where the door that Abigail gave you leads to. And it isn't until you step out that you realize it has led you to exactly where you need to go. Because you do not end up in that tunnel of bones that you walked through to get here. You do not end up in the Blackstone estate that you found Horatia and Isaac and Clara in. You find yourself somewhere in the middle where you had walked with those pools of blood surrounding you. And approaching you is a large black horse with a rider on it who is drenched in blood.
Are we like right outside the estate?
Nope, Elise has been riding for a while because Douglas can't get an immediate path out.
Elise? Elise, what happened?
You've decided to come back, have you?
I didn't decide to leave. I got pulled away. I tried to stay. What happened?
Seems you weren't the only one.
Where's everyone, Elise?
Not here. Most of them are back at the palace. Fitz and
You were just
Horatio
there.
were gone.
Gone. They
Was hoping you might know the answer to where.
they're not dead. They're just What did you see? What did you see what happened?
Yes. I saw more than you saw, because I was there. I saw them fighting. I saw the pools of blood on the floor, and then I saw them gone. Rhiannon. They didn't leave. They were taken. They were just, they were there, and then they weren't. And I don't know how any of this magic, hell nonsense works.
I can try to locate them, or if Fitz, I could try to.
Tried. I can find Fitz. I can always find Fitz. I don't think he's dead. But he's not here, and I cannot find him.
We will find him, Elise. He's not here. That's a good thing.
the veil has been thin. Maybe they slipped out somewhere
Like
back
I
in
did.
London. Maybe
Where did you go?
I got dragged back to London.
She came to me. I dragged her there.
You didn't technically. You weren't the one who dragged me there, but there was a dangerous situation apparently that I was not aware of was happening. I tried to. I'm so sorry. Elise, I'm so sorry. I tried
Not your
to
fault.
stay. I am sorry.
Don't apologize.
I-
just help me find him.
I can do that. I can try. I can try to do that.
You said you went to London. You said you were taken from here and you went to London. Let's try that.
Yeah, maybe they fell in. There was the palace. They could. The guards could have got them. They could both be there. They probably just fell into a different part of the palace. So we should get out of hell.
Yes, I would very much like to be done with hell.
Me too.
Your sister?
At the palace. Hopefully she's found Joe. Hopefully she's found help.
And Julius, I'm assuming Julius was the one who got her there. And
No, not quite. Isaac opened the door.
Isaac is here.
Isaac is at the palace. Julius took him
What?
there.
oh, Damien's at the palace.
Seemed like he was on our side.
Well, I'm glad he had a time to reflect, to be able to make his own choices without being controlled by others for once.
Are
If
they
that's
his own
what I think.
choices?
Apparently we all don't or you would have been here. Fitz would still be here. Sometimes things happen.
That's right. Sometimes we have no choice.
It seems like he does now.
That
If
is
he doesn't, we should get to the palace before that starts to look a bit more like here.
I can open a door. I don't know if I should open it to the palace, but it could be its own can of worms, but I could open
I
it to...
wouldn't exactly like to go walking through London like this.
Fair point. I will just make sure it is closed and removed behind me before I am accused of treason.
If the crown has issue with it, they can take it up with me.
Rhiannon, you can see that the pathway that you and Carmen came down is still there. Like, if you look back, you can see it. You're pretty sure that Abigail sealed off the door at the end. But I'll give you a +1 if you want to use that as your way back.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with the +1 after how I've been rolling this season. And Carmen's face is still Carmen's face.
Carmen's face is still Carmen's face, just as kissable as ever.
Aww.
Punchable for some.
Yeah, it's very versatile. I think Rhiannon wants to, before they start drawing the sigil. Well, I guess would they need to do the whole setup there, or okay? It's just a matter of making the door open again, so not the complex ritual. I'll roll for it. Can I have a moment to be a little petty with this fucking demon?
Always.
Okay.
Please.
This would be more
Come on.
ideal. No, it's fine, babe. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So I have no idea where the estate is. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. But we're probably close enough or something. This was the path we took there. I think as Rhiannon is looking back down the tunnel of bones, almost unconsciously, they reach into their satchel, and that they brought with them from the palace, which has some of the holy items they brought, because if you're going to hell, you need some holy items. And also has what elements of nature they brought with them. And I think from it, they take, excuse me. See, an acorn. I think acorn is the right one. They just kind of quickly reach into their bag and they pull out an acorn and they look through the holy items there until they find one they think would be strong enough. Perhaps a feather of an angel, a vial of heavenly light. I'm open to some things. If you had any suggestions, JD.
Those would be some pretty powerful things, particularly the feather of an angel, but
Probably too powerful that they would have let her have.
I will give you a vial of light.
Thank you. Cool. And again, this is just the demon wants to fuck with her. All right. Game, set, match. So she just kind of holds them both in her hand and just focuses very tight on it very tightly until tendrils start to sprout from the acorn and wrap around the vial. And then she just kind of crushes it in her hand and then reaches down and just shoves it into the earth. And I will roll for it if you want me to, but she is willing the light and the acorn to merge to grow into a tree of heavenly light, just as a little reminder. I'll fuck with you back.
I would like you to roll with dark.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna use my nicer dice because they were actually kind to me. We're still, I think that's a 10. Okay. Thank you.
And so, that is one of my favorite things to say. Several things start to happen at once. Because that's a very good roll. And that means things happen. But that doesn't mean there aren't consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you just did.
What did I do, JD? I wanted to
is put a drop of heaven into hell. And you feel the ground starting to shake. And Carmen, you feel angry. And meanwhile, I'm honestly imagining that, Elise, you have been saying Douglas has informed you that he will not be coming along because his part of the deal is not complete. He was asked to stay here to make sure the Fitz got out.
He was. But Fitz is no longer here.
A
If you
deal
want to
is a
help
deal.
Fitz get out, you're going to come with us and help us get him. Was your deal not to get Fitz back home? Or was your deal to get Fitz out of hell? Either way, he's not here.
And Douglas looks a bit uneasy at that.
If you would like to sit outside of that estate for the rest of eternity when he never returns, be my guest. If you want this deal to be finished, you can come with us and help it be done. You know Fitz better than I do. We're going to find him. I might like your help.
Douglas is visibly upset, and not in the way you've seen Douglas upset before. Not in the I'm just going to eat every other horse that is in this stables upset. He looks genuinely distressed and starts pawing the earth again, especially as the light from the tree that Rhiannon planted starts to spread through the soil. And he's focused still on Elise as he says, I would need another deal to leave. Are you willing to make it?
I suppose I could let you languish away in front of that estate forever. Is that genuinely preferable to helping?
Deals aren't that straightforward. They have terms and agreements. It is not about my preference.
If we were to make a deal, it would be. What would you want?
If you will get me out of here, I will help you find him. I cannot promise that I will find him, but I can promise that I will help.
And I cannot promise that I can help you get away with biting every other living horse-shaped being in London. But I'm not above a little hunt myself. So, deal is what you need. I will get you out of hell.
And he moves so that you can sign your name in blood on his flank.
Mm-hmm. 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 Here's the question. You said this horse is also covered in blood?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Cool, 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 cool. So I think Elise does this. Elise does, the classic, I don't know, probably like slice on a tooth sign, the classic. But she does because I love to be dramatic and have bits on people. She, pricks a finger and signs on his bloody being. And then of course I've technically now fed on the blood of this monster. Ergo, marked for the hunt.
110%. Fuck
Thank you.
yes. Was I ever going to say no to that? Absolutely not.
I licked that horse, y'all. It had to be done. We're almost done with season 2. It had to be done at some point.
You, just for the record, okay, we're
The
going to make the record
horse-shaped
state.
entity, technically.
Horse-shaped entity.
Second person to lick a horse.
No, Max licked one.
Third
With three.
person to lick
To
a
lick
horse.
a horse.
In this show?
No, in the channel.
Oh, I want it. Okay, but listen, if not now, when? If not Elise, who? Like
110%
the
lick the
first
blood
time
horse.
you explained to us that Douglas was a blood-drenched horse, I was like, it's a matter of time.
Impeccable.
Excellent. I have licked the horse-shaped entity. And now I know his whereabouts.
10 out of 10, no notes.
Everything's fine and normal and regular. But we both gain experience. Since the first time. Is it the first time that he's been fed on? Hey, JD, is this the first time a vampire has licked this horse? I need to know. For legal purposes, I do need to know that.
I think it is the first time specifically that a vampire has licked this horse.
Okay, it's the first time he's been fed on by a vampire. That tracks. That marks the thing.
I don't want the answer.
Sure.
I'm just not going to ask that question.
Don't worry about it. Drop some character facts at some point, and maybe we'll give you some Douglas
Who licked
facts.
that horse?
Who licked that horse?
Is it me, Jesus?
And so Rhiannon is planting a tree made of heaven. Elise.
You know.
We all know what Elise has just
We all know what's
done.
happening.
I mean, I probably didn't catch it because I planted a tree out of spite. But
And Carmen, you feel the skin on your back start to prickle. Almost burn.
I think instinctively, as the tree begins to grow, he just starts taking steps backward. Trying to like get away from this heat, not the heat of hell, but like this heat from this tree. This like heat of radiant light. And once he realizes what is happening, he turns to Rhiannon and just says, "What have you done? We are in hell. Did you just threaten every creature that lives here?"
no, not every creature. Just the one who's been taunting me.
You know that's not true, Carmen.
Do you
This
think I
is
should tone
not
it down?
his domain. Many creatures live here, more dangerous than you could ever imagine, and you just call some sort of flare, a signal, a threat. Did you really think that was a good idea?
Yeah, for once, I don't think I thought about it. I think I was too angry to think about it.
And I love it when you're angry. But this was a mistake. Rhiannon, why do you choose to hurt me?
I'm not choosing to hurt you. This wasn't to hurt you.
Is it not?
No.
Then why do I feel like I'm on fire?
And I think that is where we are going to take our break
Oh, no.
of tonight.
Fuck, now maybe I didn't want to roll a 10. Oh no, baby girl. Baby girl.
You're having a normal one, guys.
We are
She did-
having such a normal one.
Oh, they did the thing they were afraid of and gave in to anger. Fuck.
It
was still baller. It's fine,
What
Rammies.
if we just like all gave into
Good
anger or
night.
whatever, and like we were in
What
hell?
if we just all got mad on the way out of hell?
What if we all
What
became
if we like
darkest
all
selves?
exited hell in our darkest selves? Ah, ha, ha. I'm just kidding.
What if we had a little spat? It's
And
fine.
so, with that,
I
don't go
improved
anywhere.
the scenery.
You did it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay.
You shot a
welcome.
middle finger to hell. Like,
You did.
To one specific demon.
without a way out.
Our way out is right behind.
Door's not open yet, baby girl.
Yeah, door's not open yet. So we're going to find out, can we open it in 10
JD?
minutes?
Take a slide.
No one is touching my boo-boo, you know what I'm saying? No one's touching my boo.
I mean, I thought Carmen was twink shaped. Can they go against Julius?
Is Julius not
Carmen-
twink-shaped?
Is he not? I thought it was like in between, but okay, I can change my mental picture of Julius.
Carmen doesn't have to be twink-shaped if you don't want him to be.
No.
Just say the word.
Carmen's beautiful as they are. Don't
Carmen could have so many shapes.
yourself. Jesus.
Father Adams, I want to be a hunk, please.
No.
Make me 6'8" and
I want-
absolutely huge. Yoked. I want
Father
to be
Adams, I
so
wanna be
big.
yoked.
That's just Max. You can't just describe Max and be like, this is my new character.
It's just the one character I do.
Max just shows up in this world. It's not Carmen, it's just Max.
Max walks
are
through the tree in the heartwood and is like, where am I?
It took a wrong fucking turn.
Anyway, meet your new boyfriend.
Yeah, I thought that was Hunter's boyfriend, not
Right.
fair. Max does have two
Two
hands.
hands. Two hands.
Max has two hands. Babies.
Oh,
What are you doing?
well,
We're having a normal one, guys.
I'm
we are
going
having
to jail.
we're having a really good time. But
Let
you
me
know,
study.
to our lovely raiders, this is our Regency Monsterhearts game, second season of Secrets and Shadows. You would not guess that by the fact that we are currently on a trip into hell and terrible things are happening, but that is what happens. So we left at a very, very tense moment. Elise had just licked a horse,
It counts.
Shaped
a
entity.
horse-shaped entity.
Thank you.
Rhiannon had planted a tree made of holy light in hell. And Carmen had just let them know that the actions she just took were hurting them.
We need to leave.
Agreed.
Rhiannon,
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to roll for your spell.
Oh, okay. Okay. see if I can remember numbers. That's an 8.
So, again, as always,
Yeah.
Elise, let me know your thoughts. But what I imagine happens is
Oh no. Oh no.
a lot has gone on in the last 2 minutes, let alone the last probably not even hour that this has been going on. And in this moment, you have just made your deal with Douglas, so he will be able to come with you and return and has promised to help you find Fit. Or at least help and try to find him. Rhiannon, meanwhile, has planted this tree and the earth has started shaking. And Douglas is starting to shift restlessly and is looking alarmed, and the hellfire is flaring as he breathes in and out. And you can tell that Rhiannon is starting to panic. You see the symbols that they are drawing. And you know that they are wrong. What would you like to do?
I don't think she even says anything necessarily. I think she sort of like walks up behind her. Like, Elise has always been curious about magic. Has always sort of, when she's seen Rhiannon do it, sort of been peeking over, very interested. So I don't think it necessarily strikes her as weird until Rhiannon's like going through and drawing these sigils, and Elise sort of reaches around and grabs her arm and adjusts. It's different here. And draws her own sigil.
Her own sigil?
One that she knows to be right.
Oh, I thought Elise was adding something new.
Not. Elise is not making bespoke magic. Elise does not know that much. But she knows that something here has been drawn incorrectly, and so she's going to fix it herself. We don't have time to faff around and deal with people's egos and whatever. This
Thank
needs to go
you.
here.
I appreciate that.
We just need to get out.
Yep.
And Rhiannon, you can feel that the pathway is open and the doorway is set and it feels stable.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment where it didn't. But when Elise stepped in, that was what you needed.
All right, it's ready. Let's go.
Also, Carmen, the burning's getting worse.
GD.
You have to tell us twice.
Are you leaving this here?
Might take a bit of time to deal with it. And if you're feeling pain, you should not be here for any
I want
longer.
to destroy it.
Do you ask Father Adams to destroy it?
I think at that moment, whatever to stop the burning.
Oh boy.
Carmen, you're feeling that desperation. You, as you were saying, you need to stop that burning. And the problem is it's not you that's burning.
Oh.
You allow that door to open more than you ever have before. And it doesn't even seem to be your action as you raise a hand out towards the tree. And it starts to disintegrate. And it hurts. Like you feel your hand burning. There's a moment where it literally catches on fire. But then you close your fist, you shake it off, you look at your palm. No marks. And that burning sensation you were feeling in your back just crawling up along your shoulder blades eases. And you feel so much better.
I don't think Carmen screamed or said anything while the tree disintegrated. You could see the strain and the incredible pain he was feeling physically on his face. But he didn't say a word. And as he like wipes the fire from his hand, he turns to go through the portal.
Oh, you don't wait for me. You just turn and go. Nice. Okay. That's fine. I mean, she's got to be last anyway, because they got to close the door.
And so Carmen, and I would imagine then Elise and Douglas and Rhiannon, the three of you make your way out of hell.
There is, as she's walking past, there's sort of a look between Carmen and Rhiannon. Like, I know there's something going on. I don't know what's going on here, but it's been going on since the palace. And it's just sort of like an acknowledgement at Rhiannon, like, okay, all right. I may bug you about this later, but noted.
That's fine. Yeah, sure.
Noted. Doesn't say
I
anything,
think
just like,
too,
It's a
okay.
little complicated.
just a little bit.
Just like, I'm not getting into it now, but okay.
I think right before passing through that door, while they're still in the tunnel, like right before, he just turns and just stares at Rhiannon and holds his hand out.
It's not Carmen's face.
Carmen, answer me. Do you feel something happening right now?
We're leaving.
Carmen, it's his face.
I don't know why you keep bringing this up.
Look at your hands. Do they look like your hands?
They are my hands.
Elise?
You don't see anything different about Carmen.
What this? Okay, we found the gaslight. All right. Okay, Azazel.
Think hell.
It's
has
not going
entered
away.
Everyone. Think the both of you need to leave.
I agree.
And she's just walk through the door. Just expecting Douglas to follow, I think.
He does.
Yeah.
JD, you can nix this. Before I walked into the tunnel after them, would I have been allowed a moment to swipe a handful of ash from the tree to take with me.
Why not?
Cool. Got a pocket full of ashes. But it's just not going away, huh?
Well, you're not out of hell yet.
Rhiannon will just kind of stare. And then take Carmen's hand. Because she knows Carmen's under there. Like, she's a witch. She knows illusion magic. But this is a demon, not a witch.
He smiles at you when you take Carmen's hand.
You're not taking him. You're not taking him.
And the three of you make the journey back up to the surface. It takes less time than you would have expected. It's not the long walk that you had down for you, Rhiannon, either time. And when you step out, you do not step out into the basement, which is probably good because you have no idea how Douglas would get up the stairs, but it would probably cause a lot of property damage. But that is not a concern.
Yay!
Because you step out instead onto the palace lawn. And the three of you are immediately surrounded by guards.
Of course we are.
Does Douglas look like a regular horse?
Yes. At that
Yay,
point, Douglas
small
looks like a
favor.
regular horse.
Little victories, you know?
Was that a good thing?
And Carmen
hey.
looks like themselves
No,
again.
of course. Rhiannon's shutting the door. Like, knocking that out. It's like shutting it, casting it away. It's gone.
That is totally fair. And
Sprinkles the ground with some holy water for good measure.
you are not stopped. And in fact, the guards start to disperse because you see Sovereign Micah walking towards you.
Just the fool I needed to talk to.
What?
I think Alicia steps forward, still probably covered from the waist down, just blood.
Immediate, like, automatic curtsy. Carmen.
There is barely a nod from Elise. We don't have time for formalities. We need to talk.
And I think all of you would catch the look of worry in Sovereign Micah's eyes as they look at Elise. But the two of you are there, and so it is very quickly covered over, and Elise, Sovereign Micah nods to you, gestures to head towards the palace, and the guards are dispersed with a wave of their hand, leaving Rhiannon and Carmen to whatever decisions the two of them are about to make. But we'll be back to them in a moment, as we are going to follow Sovereign Micah and Elise as the two of them head inside.
Yeah, I think Elise takes the steps up the palace and then realizes she's like trailing, just sort of like holds the skirts up maybe a little bit higher than is necessarily proper, kicks off the shoes, and like, we're getting in there and I'm trying not to make a mess of the palace. Like, I'm not here to be an asshole, but this is the situation we're dealing with. Does it look like Micah is headed in any particular direction, or does it look like they're following me?
It looks like they are likely headed towards the study that you usually occupy when you were with them. But if Elise starts to head in a different direction, they would follow their lead.
I do need to not be wearing this, I think, for several reasons. The least of which being comfort. So I think Elise is sort of like, for a while, it seems like they're headed in the right direction, but they sort of turn off and head towards their own quarters, and just like look back, like, "Are you coming?" Like,
They are already following you,
yeah.
though it is clear as you approach the door to your room that they are definitely going to wait for your lead before they enter.
Oh, okay. We need to talk. This is more important than, propriety. Um, just sort of, duck behind like a curtain, one of those screens or whatever, like having a conversation like this can't wait, but also I am not going to be trailing blood throughout the palace. We're not doing that today. So just sort of like talking over one of those sort of dressing screens. Just like, has Clara been to see you? Did she find you? Filtered to find Joe first, but
Elise, are you okay?
none of this is mine.
That doesn't answer my question.
No, it doesn't. No, I am not.
Your sister is here, as is your
Safe.
brother. Yes, both of them are safe. Elise, you've been gone for 3 days.
Well, I suppose that makes a bit more sense with what I need to tell you. I don't know magic. Sovereign, you know as much as I do that I don't know any of what is going on here. Something is amiss between the planes, the realities, the veil, I think they've called it. I don't know what this is, but something is amiss. People are losing people aren't staying where they're meant to stay. People are disappearing. Fitz went into hell with me. He did not come back. He left before I did, and I don't think he did it on purpose. Apparently, Rhiannon did the same. Something is wrong with the veil.
Yes, we are aware.
Something is more wrong than we thought it was. People don't get sucked through doors that nobody opened.
I know.
Do you? Micah, is there something you're not telling me?
Just that this has been happening. It is a concern that we have had people lining up to share with us, and some people we're pretty sure we are able to find. Some we found have wandered into places like Fairy. Some have found their way into hell. One said that they found their way into heaven, and that is absolutely unheard of. What happened with Fitz?
We found Clara. We found Horatia. It was a trap. Of course it was a trap. But Isaac helped us get her out, and I was doing that. I was with Clara, and when I came back, they were fighting. And then they weren't anything. They weren't anywhere. I can find him. Micah, I can always find him. He wasn't there. If you know where he went, if you know how to find these people and you're keeping that from me, there aren't words for what I do.
I would not keep that from you, Elise. Are you saying that you no longer feel that connection?
I think she takes a minute. Because now, they're in a different realm, a different plane, whatever you want to call it. And I think she searches for that connection again. Just to make sure maybe they were on different planes and it doesn't work that way. Maybe he's closer to here. I mean, she wants to be certain before she says anything.
And you just feel that emptiness.
And I think she steps out from, behind the changing screen, and she's not in anything as fancy as any of the court gowns that anyone here has ever seen her in. She's in, peasant's clothes. She's in the clothes that she came in. And I think Mike is the first person to see her break fully. Because she just walks out and she's just silently crying. He's gone. He was gone there. And he's gone here. And I don't know where else there is.
At least you know that I am never going to give you false comfort or false hope. This is bad because you should be able to feel him. If he was in one of those other realms that I mentioned, you would feel him. And it's not that it would be easy to get there, but you would know where he is because it would be like a compass dragging you towards there. I genuinely do not know what this means. And so I'm not saying that there is no hope. I am saying that at this point, I cannot give you hope.
I don't need hope. If he's not anywhere that you've seen, if I should be able to feel him, where else is there? There has to be somewhere else. I would know if he was dead. Where else is there?
We can look into that together, Elise. What do you need right now?
I need to see my sister.
Are you
We're not done with this.
certainly
I was gone for 3
not?
days. I don't know how much time he has. I don't know how long every minute here he's somewhere in pain or in danger. I'm not done with this.
I would not ask you to be. I will be talking to those who have much more experience in these matters than I do.
I want to be there. I want to speak with them too.
I will set that up as you see your sister and your brother.
He's still here.
He returned so that your sister would not be alone and would not have to travel back alone. They are both with Joe.
It's more foresight than I give him credit for, I guess. I'd like to see them.
I will take you to them. And Elise, I am truly sorry.
I don't want your condolences. Grief is for the dead. He's not dead. I don't want your sorrows and your prayers. I want your help.
And Micah does not argue with that. They merely lead you on a familiar path. You are not heading to the study that you usually share with them, but an adjacent one that is not that much further down the hall. And they stop at the door. It's clear they're not going to step inside with you. But they do wait a moment to see if there is anything else you say or anything else you need before they leave.
I think in a sort of, I don't know, moment of clarity or levity or something, I sort of look around the halls to make sure that there isn't anyone, about. I think they give Micah a hug.
And in that moment, Elise, you know that they had wanted to offer you comfort, but they were not about to make that first move. And so when you reach out to hug them, they are a little startled, but immediately wrap their arms around you and just hold you tightly.
Thank you.
Take whatever time you need. I know that you have asked to be in the meetings that will come, but I would rather that we start to work on this in your absence than have you miss precious moments with your family.
Just let me know when things are in place.
They
I will be
nod
there.
and they walk away.
And Elise, shifts the skirts and tries to look like she hasn't been sobbing. Goes to say hello to her siblings.
And we will be jumping into that family reunion in just a moment. But before then, we have left Rhiannon and Carmen on the palace grounds, now no longer surrounded by guards. I was going to say free to do whatever you want, but that might only be true for one of you.
JD. Rhiannon is immediately like grabs Carmen's hand because the fire, and is trying to like look him over, and it's just like, does it hurt anywhere still?
Carmen, as soon as Rhiannon asks that, pulls his hand away and says, "No, I took care of that myself."
I didn't do that to hurt you, Carmen. I'm sorry that it did.
Then why? No, we are connected. Did it not cross your mind?
All I could see was him smiling and winking at me as I stopped the exorcism. All I could see was him smiling at me as we moved through hell, mocking me. There's nothing I can do to keep him from taking you away.
He's not taking me.
How are you so sure about that?
How are you so certain that he is? You see him in me or on me when no one else does. Easily could be tricks of hell.
And he's a demon!
You're seeing what you want to see.
I don't want to see a demon on you, Carmen. I just want to see you.
I don't know if that's true anymore. I think you're just trying to find some sort of excuse.
An excuse for what?
To push me away.
Why would I want to push you away?
Rhiannon, less than 1 hour ago, you promised me that you would trust me. And you have spent every minute of that hour turning your back on me. How is that trust?
When did I turn my back on you? When I was trying to get us through hell as quickly as possible?
I want to help. It might be foolish to reach for this power, but I want to be useful, so use me, Rhiannon. Please.
You... Why don't you trust me when I tell you that you're enough for me, on your own? Why don't you believe me every time I've said that to you, Carmen? I'm not lying.
I don't want to be that person.
What person?
I don't want to be nothing.
That's your parents talking, not you. You still have all of that vitriol they poured in you because of their own issues, and that's not your fault. That's them. You were never nothing.
I see who surrounds us. I see what powers they hold and what dangers they have to you. I will not let anything happen to you. Why don't you understand that?
Why do you...
I would give everything for you. I would sell my soul for you.
That would break my heart.
As long as you're safe.
No! How can you expect me to live with that? That you thought a life without me, that a life for me without you was better than a life with you, but facing dangers and stress and trials together? You don't get to make that choice for me.
I'm here now. And Carmen grabs her hands and he puts one of her hands like on his face and just says, Rhiannon, please. I'm not doing this to hurt you. But I won't go back. I won't be weak. I want to protect you. And I know everyone says you don't need protection, and it's true. But there's no life for me if you are hurt.
Don't want to trade my safety for your life, Carmen. You protect me enough. I do need protection. But
I haven't given my life. I'm still here. Why can't you see that?
because I don't know for how much longer that's going to be because of that demon. I'm terrified. Yet! He hasn't done anything to you yet! And what happens when he does? When will that be? What happens then? Do you expect me to accept that? Would you, if our positions were traded? Would you let me go?
I see that you don't understand yet. Father Adams would not hurt me.
His name is Azazel. It's not Father Adams.
It doesn't matter what his name is.
I think Octavia would disagree, and probably Abigail as well.
Don't.
Right, I won't bring up
You
Abigail.
continue to make excuses. I know he wouldn't hurt me. He needs me. And while everyone else continues to push me away, I just want to prove that I am worthy. I just want to be useful.
How did you not think saving me from my father made you worthy with that act alone?
Your father was one man. There's so much worse out there. And I will protect you from all of it.
He was the worst man for me. If nothing else, that should have been enough for you to see yourself as worthy. And
sit by your side and do nothing else? Just worry for you and know that my hand will never be strong enough.
Just be with me.
I am with you.
I love you.
I'm not going to turn away this power. Not when it means I know I can protect you. And if you don't want to trust me, and if you don't want to help or let me help you, then it doesn't matter.
I want you with me. I accept your help. Whether or not you have this demon. But
do you?
I've told you I trust you.
Then prove it.
What now would make you believe it?
What before?
Stopping the exorcism? You said
And then
that
turning your back to me.
When did I turn my back to you, Carmen?
You reject my help. You plant a tree of pain.
It was for the one who was causing this pain in between us. And I'm sorry that it hurt you. If I knew it was going to hurt you, I wouldn't have done that. I acted rashly and out of anger. And I told myself I wouldn't do that. And I did it. Because I don't want to lose you. I love you as you are. I want you in my life. I keep choosing you. Again and again, I keep choosing you. And I don't know why that's not enough for you, Carmen.
I do this because I love you, Rhiannon. Let me prove to you, then, that everything will be fine. And I want to summon Father Adams.
At the palace? Carmen!
I love that. I love that so much.
Let me prove I trust you. Here's the demon that's been gaslighting you, babe.
He's good. He's fine.
So I think I just have two questions. The first is going to be, as you summon him, do you want him to fully appear? Or are you just opening a connection with him yourself?
I think I am using a move. I think I want to use strings attached. And I think Carmen steps away from Rhiannon. And
Rhiannon is trying to, not let go of your hand.
Reaches into the dirt and holds it in his hand. And calls for Father Adams. And I think he'll lean down and just whisper to the dirt that is cupped in his hand. And ask him. Kind of beg him. To prove to Rhiannon that everything will be all right.
And so, Carmen, you find yourself in that liminal space that you share with Father Adams, that spot in the graveyard. And he looks troubled by your request and says, that's going to be a hard one, Carmen. That's going to be difficult, my son.
I know she can be stubborn, and that's fine. It's wonderful, really. But I know that if I could just show her everything can be as it was, that everything, you are to be trusted, and that I am to be trusted with you. I just want her to understand. I want her to see what I see.
Herman, do you know what a white lie is?
Something you do at times, small lie. Usually it's for children, but I suppose sometimes it's necessary.
That's right, my son, and I think that may be what we need to do here. Because we have tried. You could not have been any clearer in your communication with Rhiannon. You could not have offered any more reassurances. And so I think we need to tell her the white lie that I am gone, that we have decided to part ways. But the important thing is, I won't be gone. I'll be there. You will have all of my strength and power. But she will never know.
Told her I wouldn't lie to her again.
Is it a lie if you tell her that I am no longer holding your strings? And that is true?
Suppose not. How would this change? Would this change anything?
It would. It would mean that you are even stronger and more capable. But it would mean that you once again have, how shall I say it, a house guest?
That was you.
I was referring to Damien Deloso. You have shared your body once before.
Are you saying retract what the ritual did?
Not at all. I am saying that I would be the house guest inside of you.
would it be like when Damien was there?
In what ways?
For the most part, I just had to worry about feeding him.
You would not need to worry about feeding me.
And how does this benefit you?
I do not often get to walk the mortal world. And I aim to be helpful to those who I have helped. You would allow me to do this.
Would it be forever?
It would not be as simple as one day saying that I must leave. I mean, that Carmen would be rude, first of all. But it would not have to be forever. And you would not be giving anything up.
Would I still be able to protect her?
Oh, my
Would
son,
you still hold up that bargain?
you would be able to protect her in ways you've never been able to protect them.
If it is what must be done. I asked. And you continue to. So let me be your carrier for a time.
And he extends his hand to you, Carmen, much like he did those months ago when you asked him to save you and your former brother, Damien.
And Carmen reaches out a hand. And shakes it.
We're going to get back to the outcome of that in a moment. But in the meantime, we're going to return for an emotional family reunion. And so, Elise, you open the door, and I would imagine you barely get it open before Clara is running straight at you and throwing herself at you.
Oh, absolutely. Elise is already like probably like throws open the doors immediately, like crouched down on her knees, like, get over here. What are you doing? Just, holding her absolutely as tight as she can, just like patting her hair, like, "Are you all right? Did you get here okay?"
And Clara is crying in the way that kids do when they've kind of like just composed themselves, but something is now reminding them of what they just went through, and all of that emotion is opening up again. So she is just
Mhm.
crying on you, but she's saying, I'm fine. I got back. All right, I ran to the stables like you said, and I found Joe.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, good, good. You're okay. You're not hurt. Sort of face in hands, like you're all right.
I'm fine. I was worried about you. I left
I'm all
you
right.
I left you there. The sounds, they were
I
they
know.
were really scary.
I know. I'm all right. Just wraps her up in a hug. Just like kiss her on the head. I'm all right. Sort of, I imagine looking over her shoulders at wherever Jonathan is.
And yes, I was about to say you look up and he is standing. It seems like he may have been looking out the window before you came in, and he is studying you because he knows where Clara is at. He's had at least a day, if not more, to be reunited with her, but you are the sibling that he is looking at with the greatest concern.
I see you still can't do what you're told.
You know me.
Well, for once, I'm glad you didn't. Sorry, I've been gone so long. I didn't realize the time.
I'm not going to pretend that I understand any of this, Elise, but. And he pauses to look at you, really look at you. What does he see in your eyes?
I think she's mostly composed herself enough to, again, look passably human. I think there is still a bit of red in the eyes if you know what you're looking for, and he does now. And I think there's a bit of an edge to the teeth on certain words that you would notice if you knew to look for them, which he does. But she is keeping it together because Clara's here. And regardless of all of the, sharp words that she's had for everybody else she's spoken to today, she has none for Clara. So she doesn't need to see that. Um, but I think there's a bit of concern in her eyes because she knows what he must have seen if he was looking out the window when they showed up. And she knows that he knows what she is. Words are hard. Um, and there's sort of a question in those eyes and a glance back to Clara because she's not sure if he's kept that secret.
The first thing you notice is that, well, Jonathan does know all of these things about Elise now. He knows all of those secrets. There is no concern in his eyes for Clara or Clara's safety. You can tell that he trusts you as he always has, even with what he must have seen when you made your appearance covered in blood in the middle of the yard. But when you give him that look, he shakes his head, indicating that he has not told Clara.
Thank you for being here for her. You're welcome to stay in London as long as you need to, but parents are going to need you back.
And I would imagine that you won't be coming back with us.
There are things I need to handle here that I need to be here to help with. But I think I will be home sooner than I had thought. Hopefully I will have a bit more freedom to do so.
He takes that in, studying your face the whole time, and then says, Elise, I couldn't help but see.
See what?
That when you came back, someone was missing.
I think she stands up, sort of still keeping that arm on around Clara, not quite wanting to let go yet. Like I said, there are things here that still need my attention. I'm going to bring him back. I cannot do that from the inn.
Much like little sisters do, Clara pipes up and asks, bring who back?
Remember, I said there was someone I would very much like you to meet.
You did.
He's gone somewhere, but he's going to come back. I'm going to bring him back, and then we will all have tea, just like I said.
And Clara looks back and forth between you, Elise, and Jonathan, and it's one of those moments that kids have when they realize the adults in the room are talking about something above them. And you can see that she trusts those words because she trusts you. But she also knows that something's wrong and just reaches out to take your hand and just says, I really look forward to that.
Me too, Clara. Me too. While you're here, I should show you guys around. Yes. I think there's a few things I'd like you all to see.
And Jonathan definitely has your back in shifting away from this, but before the three of you head out to move through the grounds of the palace, he does pull Elise and Clara into a tight hug. And just quietly says, whatever happens next, it's going to be okay, Elise. We're gonna be there for you. You have your family. And it's going to be okay.
I think she reaches up and in a way that a little sister has no business doing, just sort of like grabs his cheek. And you have me. And even if I'm in London, I'm not going anywhere. Right? Clara, there's somebody I would like you to meet. How is Sir Reginald doing?
Incredible. And so I think we do pan away from this family reunion, but we will be returning to Elise before the end of the night as they have a chance to, in this intervening time, distract their sister, themselves, and their brother from the horrors that are unfolding around them and have a moment, even if it's brief, to remember that as many terrible things that have happened over the past 6 months, there are still pieces of beauty in London.
One of those is a very shoddily made stuffed cat. Which I think she trades Clara for the hatchet back.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible. I do feel like there is a moment as that exchange happens where Jonathan leans over and is like, you let her have a hatchet?
You want me to send her out here with no weapon? You saw. And you didn't see everything, but you saw enough.
All right, fair.
I had enough to protect myself. She didn't. You'll have to teach her how to use it. One of these days.
That was my concern. My concern wasn't that you didn't have the hatchet. My concern was that she had the hatchet.
Yeah, so better a hatchet than his bare hands.
A point. I cannot disagree.
While I'm here, you ought to teach her how to use that thing. I'm sure we still have plenty at home.
If I'm being honest, I think that friend of yours, Joe, already has been.
Well, then she couldn't have asked for a better teacher.
And your brother offers each of you his arms and allows you to guide them through the parts of the palace that you choose to show them.
Yeah, we're hitting the studio. We're hitting the gardens. We're hitting the kitchens. Do you see how big these kitchens are?
And we're going to pan away from the family and that reunion for a moment. Go back to the front yard of the palace. And what happens in the wake of the deal that one Mr. Carmen Deloso has made? I'm going to throw it to you, Raph. What do you think Rhiannon sees as Carmen first connects with Father Adams and then becomes Father Adams?
Not technically becoming fully. Come on now. Kind of. I think.
You still look like you, for the record.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Even the eyes?
I'm
So with
gonna
them
leave
eyes,
that.
JD.
I'm gonna leave that up to Raph.
Yeah. So I think Carmen had stepped back and picked up some dirt. And to Rhiannon, it happens in moments. That whole conversation.
Mhm.
And I think she sees from his hand, from the dirt, there grows a black vine of thorns. And first it's one, and then it's another, and then it's this endless sprout. And the air becomes damp and smells like smells a little bit like mold and wet grass and wet dirt. And I think the ground around Carmen, the grass dies in a circle. His eyes are closed. His face is calm. He is still. I don't even know if he is breathing. And you watch as the thorns wrap around him like a cocoon. And then dive into the dirt and just create a circle around him. What you see is Carmen standing there. And when he does open his eyes, they're blue. And I think he smiles. And just says, "See, there is nothing to fear."
What did you just do? Carmen, what did you just do? Why are your eyes blue?
I'm showing you that everything will be fine.
Rhiannon just like runs up and grabs his face in both hands, the one that's uninjured and the other that's like bleeding and covered in like dirt and ash from the tree. And is just gripping his face and is just looking into his eyes and just like gaze going over, trying to notice what else on them is different. Is it just the eyes? Is there something else? It's demons. They're subtle, they're sneaky, but then they look back up into their eyes and just, Carmen, what did you just do?
He no longer has strings on me, Rhiannon.
Okay. What does he have on you? You have his eyes. Why do you have his eyes, Carmen? Tell me what you just did.
I sent him away from our deal.
To where? Where is he?
He's no longer a concern.
A concern for who?
For you. For anyone.
Carmen, you just wrapped up in black thorn vines and went into the dirt and came out with his eyes, and you're trying to tell me there's nothing to be concerned about here?
It is a bit dramatic.
You invited him
told you.
inside you?
I told you everything would be fine. And it is. You asked for him to be gone. And he is.
Then why do you have his eyes?
I had to give him something. It's difficult
What?
to break a bargain.
Right. What did you give him?
And I think Carmen puts his hands on her face and just says, "You have nothing to be worried about."
Carmen, I would like you to roll with hot and roll as though you have a +3.
What the fuck?
You are rolling to manipulate an
Okay.
NPC. Well, you are rolling to manipulate a PC.
I'm rolling +3.
Yep.
Snake eyes, snake eyes, snake eyes, snake eyes.
To be fair, I don't roll well, so we'll see
Now
what
you're gonna
happens.
roll well. What is it?
Yeah. +3, that's 15.
Fuck! Fuck my life. Wow, that's scars for the demon. Okay.
Rhiannon, Carmen is absolutely telling the truth. You don't have anything to worry about. He says the demon's gone. Maybe they exchanged eyes. It'll be okay.
Throughout this whole interaction, Carmen has just been softly smiling.
Mm-hmm. And he can't hurt you again.
Why would he want to hurt me? He never did.
He can't control you. He can't. He's not going to come back.
I don't have to feed him like Damien. That's what you're asking.
Do you have to do anything for him? Is he going to come back? Is this something we need to prepare for?
Rhiannon. It's fine. Is Elise all right? Should we go to the palace?
We should, if they'll let us, we should go to just check on Elise. Yes,
They'll let us.
I'm glad you're safe now.
I've always been safe.
Rihanna just kind of links her arm with Carmen's because it's a 15. Demon's clearly gone. We're going to be still concerned about that eye thing, but she needs to check on Elise. And she has Carmen. Carmen's not going anywhere. She's got her hand on him. It's fine.
I think before they go, Carmen can sense that worry still from Rhiannon. And I think he turns and he holds her hands and just says, Rhiannon, nothing will keep me from you. No threat of death, no fear of a demon, no gravestone, nothing. Doesn't matter how deeply they bury me, I will crawl my way back to you.
Rhiannon's eyes fill with tears because that's big fears. I imagine they still have just a mess, a tangle of vines and flowers just throughout their hair and that had been sprouting from their skin, but she plucks some of the foxglove from her hair and just quietly tucks it in his lapel and then leans up and gives him a kiss. Says, I am. Well, if you had to dig your way out of a grave to get back to me, I think we would meet halfway because I would be digging down to reach for you.
As it should be.
Another kiss. Because everything's fine
Everything's fine now.
And so I am going to ask each of you as we move into the bittersweet season 2 finale. What is the last image we see of your characters as we leave them for this part of the season? And I think I am going to start, if you are ready, with Elise.
I think, if we're getting cinematic with it, the camera, sort of, panning out of, I imagine, Elise's room, where I imagine she sort of left Jonathan and Clara. The end of the day, sort of tucked Clara in. Jonathan knows, the study's right next door. Like her drawing room is next door. If he needs to wander, he needs to wander between these rooms. I don't technically have permission to keep you here, etc. But don't cause trouble and there won't be trouble, it'll be fine. But sort of is like, settled them in for the night, right? And I think still in those very casual, very like working clothes, sort of. Tucks tucks the hatchet back in her belt and sort of, at the very least, sort of puts her hair up a little bit more presentable. And we sort of just see her walking down the palace hall and standing outside of the throne room. And I don't think she knocks before she goes in.
Incredible. What about Rhiannon?
Boy, there were some things, but with that 15, I don't know if I can do them because I trust my boyfriend because he's not lying to me. Fuck my life. Does the moment still have to be like at the palace currently or okay? Oh my god. Would Carmen have well, they still have the situation where Rhiannon can't really go to her house. But she has the country estate. Would Carmen have parted ways with Rhiannon after the palace or nah? Okay. Probably escorted them out to the country, I'm guessing. I think once at the country estate that night, Rhiannon just kind of slips outside to the back garden. And she's just she's more composed, she's cleaned up. And I think there's still some foxglove sprouting in her hair. I know before I'd said during the exorcism there had been some flowers of hell sprouting too. Are those gone now? Okay.
Those actually, I don't think Rhiannon noticed, but those burned away when you used the light.
Sick. I think her hand is bandaged from when she broke the bottle of light to make the tree. She has the ash in a vial. Oh my god, Sid. Cats are stampeding, sorry. And she goes out to first down the path to the family cemetery. And she finds a spot by a stump that was from a tree that had been cut down ages ago before she was born. And she takes out the travel book Fitz had given her. And she just... Apologies for cats. She digs a small hole into the roots and gently places the book there and plants some seeds on top of it. Some daffodils and marigolds. And just says, I'm sorry. I hope. I hope. And then she just kind of walks through the gardens, looking back at the house where her mother is, where Noelle is, where Carmen is, and feels relief. Yes, she still has to deal with her father's ghost, but she keeps rubbing the cut on her palm, and she can't place why there's still this sense that something's wrong, but not with Carmen, because Carmen was honest with her. Carmen said he's gone. The eyes, they swapped eyes. Maybe that's a concern later, but she doesn't trust that the demon won't come back. But he's gone now, that means there's time to make sure he doesn't return, that he can't do anything to her or Carmen or any other of their friends. And she just kind of paces through the garden and lets the foxgloves grow from her hair. And just kind of takes a deep breath. Just says, "My father was not right about me. He wasn't right about me. I won't believe he was right about me. I just need to learn how to control this power. I need to not. I need to be strong enough next time. For Elise and for Abigail and for Octavia and Astrid and Dorian and Damien and Carmen, I need to not falter again." And then she just sits outside for a while with the flowers, just rubbing that cut on her palm.
And speaking of Carmen, what are our last images of them?
Carmen returns with Rhiannon to the summer house. And everything just feels right, finally. And as they step out of the carriage, and she walks ahead of him, he looks at her, the most beautiful person he's ever seen. There is a placid smile on his face. And as she holds out her hand to him, he walks toward her, holds it. They walk toward the summer home together. I assume she leaves flowers in her path, and in his are footsteps of dead grass, black thorns growing out of them.
And that is going to be our final image for the second table of the second season of Secrets and Shadows.
What a fun time we've had.
It's been
So what are we
great.
doing?
They're fucking up my other house too, apparently.
Nowhere
And the
is safe.
palace, it's fine. Don't worry
Shut
about
that fucking door.
it.
Oh, right, he burrowed into the earth like a worm.
It's fine.
It's so great. I trust him so much.
Everything's fine. I don't know
At
what you're
15,
Everything is
he's
so
not lying to
fine.
me at all.
Everything's so fine, Bessie.
There's no
Come on.
surprises.
No, nothing. Yeah, no, we're fine. Nothing. Carmen did nothing wrong tonight. Carmen has never done anything wrong ever in their life.
Nothing.
I know this and I
Never.
love you.
Ooh, all right. We have had an emotional time tonight, so I am going to let everyone go around and share as many details about themselves as they feel capable of, like, speaking at this moment. No pressure. Starting with you, Steph.
I was wiping away my tears. I'm hard enough for my makeup to smear, but I guess that'll be a season 3 thing, maybe. Hi, I'm Steph. I've been Rhiannon, trying to figure out how to not be a problem anymore. Still taking the L's, but her boyfriend's safe, and that's what matters. You can find me under the handle Lavenza on the Discord channel, Live from the Apocalypse. You can also find me under S. Brown Writes on social media. And, oh yeah, this is the finale. I guess next time we reunite to see what other Rammies could happen, because everything's fine with them. But until then, you can also catch me in Redacted every other Thursday, our psychological horror game. We're all haunted, full of ghosts. And I guess maybe in some of the upcoming Hasmus games. We shall see.
We love that, yes.
And Ward H's next episode in December. I almost forgot.
You cannot forget that.
I
Yes,
know!
that.
The Academy H spin-off podcast, Ward H, in diving into the multiverse, looking at a very dark Earth with these poor, powered children.
Yes,
they trust so many adults.
And that is going to be, if you liked the emotion we had here tonight, that will also be an emotional time.
Yeah.
And speaking of an emotional time, Kit, I must go to you next.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. Let's just still take a second real quick while I have the brain cell. Just everybody take a breath real quick. We did a lot. We did a lot tonight. Holy shit. Hi guys, I am Kit, have been, always will be. You can find me most places on the internet at KitRoll or on Twitter, while supplies last, at KitRollCause. It's been a night. What do I have? What do I have to pitch? Every other Saturday on The Lost Caravan, Fatal Ascension, our Fabula Ultima campaign. We're off this week because everybody's at PAX. But we will be coming back later this month, I believe, to do more Fabula Ultima, where I'm just a little robot who's never done anything wrong in its life. Don't worry about it. No war crimes. No siree. What else is there? Every other Wednesday, you can catch Beacons of Farlight over on High Shelf Collective. We're using the beacon system, if you couldn't tell by the name of the thing. Where I'm just a little shapeshifter lad. Everything's fine. It's very post-apocalyptic-ish vibes. Very drama, very Rammies. It's delightful. And then, let's see. I will be back here on the 29th for the continued celebration of Hasmus, where I will be playing something. I'm not quite sure, but it's going to be fun. So check it out. And then on, let's see, the 14th, I'll be over also doing a charity thing over on High Shelf Collective. We'll be playing some Monty Python. It's going to be goofy. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be an awesome time. I am so excited. The cast is absolutely bonkers. It's going to be, if you want the opposite vibes of this, probably.
Probably.
Listen, if we can make Monty Python do this, that would also be impressive. But if you are not interested in seeing my face, but simply hearing my voice, check out Bloom and Blight, our Girl by Moonlight actual play podcast. If you like magical girls, queer narratives, stories of hope amongst defeat, our show is for you. You can get it where all your podcasts are gotten. If it's not there, let me know. I'll make it happen. Don't test me. If you want to check out episode announcements and clips and things like that, you can find us on basically all of the socials at this point at Bloom and Blight, all spelled out, for cast and character information, transcripts of all of our episodes, and a link to the Discord server. Check out bloomandblight.com. We just recently hit 1,000 downloads, so thank you all. We're hosting a little giveaway of some fun little stickers that I had made, including an exclusive bumper sticker for Oliva Bay University babes. So hit up the Discord in order to enter that and to hang out with the cast, the crew, and a bunch of other fans. We get rowdy in there, so come vibe. I'll keep an eye on the socials because I'll post more things as I'm legally allowed to talk about them. That's been me. Tossing the brain cell over to Raph.
That's fair.
Go long.
No! Hi.
Too late, it's in the air, catch it.
Anyway, hi. My name's Raph. I played Carmen Deloso and a buddy today. What's going on? What is my life? Oh, this Tuesday. Wait. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
This Tuesday, and usually every other Tuesday, I'm in Will's 5e homebrew D&D campaign. Very fun. This Tuesday should be extra special, hopefully, because it's my birthday. So it'll be good. And then every other Thursday, I'm also in Redacted, which is JD's continuation of the horrors. I play a super normal character there, though. So
Both
if
of
you
them.
thought I was like really
Both of them.
interesting,
Like, we
that's
need to
true.
be clear.
As
They're
opposed
both normal.
to- They're both very normal and actually kind of boring. So go watch Steph because I'm boring in that game. What else? Hasmus might be a little something for you there if you like chaos and just unhinged behavior. Come on over, watch my table. Is that everything? Oh, Ward H also, that's me. Also hi. Yes, I'm also in that. 13th? December 13th? Question mark?
15th, I think. Or 13th. It's a Wednesday. Maybe it's a 13th. I can't numbers in
It might be
me.
the 13th.
Not good.
It's
Wednesday
today.
would be
You'll
the
find
Wednesday.
out
Yeah.
tonight. Okay, 13th. Yeah, it's the 13th. Hang out. It's fun. Candace is in that as well, as is Mallory. I don't know their handles anymore, but if you look them up, they're great. And I just met them today, so it's fun. It's nice. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't know anymore. I'm losing myself here. I'm losing myself to a demon, if you know what I mean.
Could be losing
Don't
yourself
joke
to your
about it too
girlfriend.
soon.
I didn't, though. Let me just
Everything's
say,
fine.
Carmen won.
Carmen really did win
continues
this
to win.
episode.
Carmen
Honestly.
did win, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, Carmen did take the dub in this episode.
Abigail has the biggest migraine, and she absolutely knows why right now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And so with that, we have had a time tonight. I am not going to keep you for an intro. We are all emotionally and physically exhausted, and some of us are also at PAX, so I am going to be letting everyone go in a moment. Basically, all I'm going to say is check the Twitter and other socials for where I'm at next. Who knows? It'll be a variety of places. And the only other things I'm gonna put out there are in terms of live from the apocalypse. First of all, join us on socials. Hi, we would love to have you. We would also love to have you in our Discord. We post upsetting things and memes, and it is a good time there. Sometimes cat pictures and other pets. So, like, we love to see that. But also, you can scream about all of our shows there if you so choose. I haven't had a chance to look at what happened tonight, but I saw that there were a lot of posts in the Secrets and Shadows discussion.
I haven't had a chance to check because I've been
People had
going through the
opinions about some of the things that
horrors.
we did. Oops.
So yeah, go through join Cass in the Screaming, and we will next be back on Sunday for our 5e game Veilbreakers. Then we're going to be diving straight into Hasmus, and that is going to be our technically 12-day event, but it's not really 12 days because we have so much content that it is just sort of happening throughout the 10th through the 29th. It's fine, don't worry about it. There will be a bunch of special guest GMs. As Raph mentioned, they will be one of them, and everyone at this table will be playing, and in one case, running and playing in these games. They are incredibly creative, filled with the holiday spirit, and we will also be doing 2 community nights where we show some holiday movies and have everyone get to join to chat about them. So if you're not already a part of our Discord, hop on there, hop on our socials and you'll be kept up to date with the things that we're doing. But don't go anywhere. We are going to raid, I think, Guild Superior. They are doing Heroes of Greyhawk, I believe, tonight. So we're going to hop over there, be friendly, and I'm going to give my cast a chance to decompress. So say goodnight, cast.
Good night, Cass.
Good night, Cass.
Good night, Elise.
Good night, Elise.
Good night, Elise.
Good night, Elise.
Good night, Elise.